To bring us home this afternoon, we're first going to introduce Hunter Gehlbach, who is the Vice Dean of Academic Affairs at the School of Education of Johns Hopkins. Give us our Johns Hopkins School of Education welcome. And after that, we're going to have Tim Rennick give us the afternoon keynote and have a dialogue with Joanna. So, Hunter, want to come on up?
Thanks so much. It's fantastic to be here. I am super excited to give everyone a warm, much warmer than it is outside, a warm welcome to Baltimore, which some of you may know is Clipper City, or City that reads. Hopefully, before too many more meals here, you'll come to appreciate it as the home of the world's best crab cakes as well. Given that it's a relatively short conference, I'm also hopeful that you are departed before you learn a couple of the other nicknames that are associated with Baltimore. A story for another time. So as Bob said, my name is Hunter Gehlbach. I'm the Vice Dean here at the Johns Hopkins School of Education. Also, in my copious free time, a colleague of Zan Tanner, who is around here somewhere at Panorama. And I'm delighted that we're hosting the conference here for many, many reasons. But I think, as you sort of think through the program and some of the key foci of what's trying to happen at the conference, one of the reasons that for me personally anyway, I'm so excited about is this emphasis on systemic collaboration. So for today's youth to thrive in a very complicated, messy world, being able to bring systems of support together in close collaboration, careful, thoughtful, and even sometimes synergistic seems so key and so important for our youth to thrive. And so interventions that begin at school, they need to be reinforced at home, and that requires some collaboration. Middle school data systems need to sort of progress and be able to speak to data systems at the high school level. Employers and educators have to be in conversation with each other. And I think, I got to be honest, part of the reason that I really resonate with this theme of the conference is self-interest. So I have just stepped into this role as Vice Dean, just been there a couple months. And one of the things I'm really resonating with is the same theme of pulling together systems to collaborate to support students. So here at the School of Education and trying to think about how to get those students to thrive. We've got PhD students who are here on the ground in Baltimore, focused on theory-driven research questions that have applications to practice. At the same time, we've got EDD students who are all over the country, taking remote courses online, who are thinking about problems of practice. So how do we get those students talking to each other and supported by similar coordinated systems? We have students who are focused on gifted education, on special education, sometimes both at the same time. So with all these students focused on multiple different pathways to success and then ultimately to helping K-12 students succeeding, how do we think about and coordinate that support system for them? How do we ensure that they can all thrive? And how do we make sure that they benefit from each other's presence? This is the problem that, probably the top problem I've been wrestling with on this new job. And so the answer is, I'm just kidding.
Good, you faked me out.
I do feel as though I have figured out sort of a second order question. I've got my head wrapped around sort of the challenge behind the challenge of collaboration. And that is ultimately, I think, a challenge of context. And so our children exist and interact across a multitude of different contexts. If all our young people existed only in one context and it was static over time, collaboration would be, frankly, pretty easy. But that's not how it works. My daughter, just to pick an example, has different needs for support at home, at school, her soccer team, and in her neighborhood. It's as though each of these different contexts produces a wholly different human being that has different needs for support. And because these demands and needs are changing over time, the systems, the collaborative systems that are supporting her really have to be in conversation pretty much the whole time. All right, so if collaboration is its own challenge, and then collaboration across these very different contexts is a really big challenge, I think the colossal challenge is that it doesn't stop there. Educators can't stay focused just on that. They have to also layer in the different perceptions of these contexts that our students have. And so, again, as a for example, my son and daughter live in exactly the same home, they attend exactly the same school, and they have radically different psychological experiences of both contexts. And so, correspondingly, the support systems have to address those very different perceptions. They have to orchestrate support for each of them in ways that are tailored to their own needs, their own anxieties, their own fears about what's going to happen. And it's essential that each student gets their perception of that context appreciated by these support systems. So in some ways, it's not that different than you guys experience here in your present context. If you are perceiving that you are merely enjoying the fruits of Charm City here in Baltimore, that's nice. But what supports would it take from this conference, from your peers? What can we coordinate so that you are really deeply appreciating the greatest city in America? Yes, honest to God, that is another nickname for Baltimore. With that, I will hand it off to Tim Rennick here in a moment, who will take you to a very different context, way down in Georgia. And just a huge welcome. Thank you so much for coming. And I'm looking forward to our paths crossing again soon.